Have you seen over your years of practice an increase in mothers wanting to have caesarean sections, and perhaps a change in the thought process within the medical profession regarding that? And is it safer or not?
So the issue of maternal request, has it increased? To be honest, no. It's quite surprising. But that goes against the background of a rising incidence of caesarean section anyway. So whether or not mothers want to avoid the challenges of a vaginal birth is happening increasingly. What is happening, to be honest, is a greater frequency of offering caesarean section. So, for example, for a large baby, I think that is going to creep into practice more and more, and mode and timing of delivery will become the mantra for almost everything, really. So, for example, IVF pregnancy, it is not in any guidelines that you need to recommend a caesarean section if everything else is going well, but it would be a brave obstetrician not to discuss mode and timing of delivery and in that particular circumstance. So mother's request for caesarean, I don't know. It's interesting looking across to other cultures. In those sort of cultures where you can choose everything, say Brazil, the caesarean section rate is enormous. It's over 90%. So I don't know whether that's going to come into practice in the UK. I very much doubt it, but it will be inevitable that the caesarean section rate, which is between about 25 and 30% anyway now, will increase.
Thank you very much.
I think with any mode, there's going to be risks, isn't there, that not only the medical professions, but the mothers themselves really need to give strong consideration to. And even without any form of negligence, things can and do sometimes go wrong. And it's just about having that information to hand before making such decisions. And again, that's something that doesn't always happen as well, unfortunately.
No, I think you're absolutely right. The business about ensuring that mothers are really well informed, and of course the Montgomery thing is all about informed consent, and whose viewpoint is the most important. And it is very clear now it's the mother's viewpoint that is paramount, not what you think as a jobbing obstetrician. So that in the next few years, we will be pressing ahead. We are already conscious of the Montgomery ruling and ensuring that we look at it through the mother's eyes, if you like. But that will become more and more important. And I suspect various guidelines and so on and aids will come. There's a new tool being developed in the NHS called I Decide, which is an app. I haven't seen it in use yet, but we will do shortly, where you actually document this to and fro between the mother and the obstetrician and midwife too, to make sure that the mother knows. The most important thing is to make sure the mother knows and understands the risks and benefits of whatever it is you're talking about. But equally, it's all documented there.
Excellent. I think the more we can adapt and change and get more with the times, and obviously move along and develop the CTGs a bit as well with I think everything will be beneficial, but I'm sure other challenges will arise as it happens.
That was something, Kim, that I didn't know, that the CTGs really haven't moved on in 50 years. It is, as you say, Mr. Taylor, we have internet access everywhere on our watches, our phones, our laptops. We are a world connected by technology, and yet we have a 50-year-old system in place for monitoring babies, which is just strange.
Yes, and we very nearly had a collaboration when I was doing my research with Philips. It's a major electronic company, but they turned around and said eventually, despite this new technology to detect the ECG, so not the CTG, the actual ECG, the thing you can pick up on your Apple Watch nowadays, non-invasively. I mean, that we thought was going to be the next step to developing more or better monitoring, but they turned around and said, it's going to take us years to make any money from this, and the hazards are enormous. We can make more money from making toasters.
Gosh.
So perhaps some investment from governments
Yes, I think it's got to be there.
is
I mean,
required.
Apple used. Do you know that the Apple Watch is the biggest recorder of the human heart ECG in the world, way above any health systems, because it's on millions and millions of people all the time. So if you can do it in that sort of casual setting, surely we can do it more successfully on the labour ward.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.